Oh, hi, and welcome back to the B2B Marketing Gap podcast. This is me, B2B Jade, aka, well, not aka, my real name is Jade Tambini. I am back after a bit of a break. I will update you in our next episode on where I've been, what's been going on. All exciting, nothing negative, all great. I thought I would just hop on because I've got a really special episode to share with you today. It is all about the issues that you'll be facing day to day as a B2B marketer, where leaders are not understanding marketing, they're not giving you the budget, the resource, they're demanding leads, they're demanding results, and you're just sat there like, what is going on? Like, why am I feeling like this? Why am I so stuck? How come I've learned all the theory? How come I've done my degree and all these courses, but I still, when I'm in the boardroom with these people, cannot give them the simple answer of, here is what we're doing for our marketing, and here's where it's going to work, and here is the answer to your questions. Maybe you're feeling imposter syndrome. Maybe you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is me. Like, this is actually me. I can't do this. The best of us get that, okay? So I'm here to help you get through all of that. And so many of my members inside B2B Breakthrough Academy in the last few weeks, I don't know what is in the air, are feeling like, oh my gosh, is it me? And I think bringing them all together in that community and through that program I'm running just helps everyone see, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. That's why I made it, because I used to coach marketers one-on-one. And I'd be like, oh, you so need to speak to Lise. You so need to speak to Steve. You so need to speak to Lauren, because they're going through exactly what you're describing. And so in this episode, it's actually a recording of a talk I did in London for the Tech for Marketing conference. It was so fun. There were thousands of people at this conference. Everyone was nodding and shaking their heads at the right places because they were like, yes, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm struggling with. And I just want to put it out there if you're new here, because all of a sudden, my listens have gone like tenfold. And apparently, AI is recommending my podcast. So if you're here as a newbie, please tell me where you found me. Like, drop me a little LinkedIn message to tell me, how did you find me? Because I don't understand this sudden, like, snowball effect. But the reason I exist, if you're new here, is everything out there is telling you to do more, to learn more, to try new things, that you're not enough, that you're not doing enough. And actually, in marketing, we need to get the basic foundations right. Okay, we need to be doing less, not more. So I'm here to help you strip everything back. Take a deep breath, work on your mindset, accept that you are not the problem. And even if you don't achieve in your job, that doesn't take away from your intrinsic value as a human being. So this is your place to breathe out and feel better. You're with other people who are going through the same as you, okay? And I'm back in the room. So I want to apologize in advance for the audio quality of this recording. I'm going to share. The venue sent it to me. It's not perfect. I think the microphone might have been a bit close to my face. It was one of those like, it's Britney microphones. But I think the content is so going to help you. I talk about my entire journey, how stuck I felt in marketing, where I came from, what I did to get more strategic. And you're going to resonate with so much of this. If you do want to find out more about B2B Breakthrough Academy, just head to B2B Jade. We have regular intakes. Your next intake is coming up soon. Don't miss out. Join our membership. It's absolutely brilliant. There's a full course, mentoring calls with me live. So you can literally ask me, Jade, like, I'm stuck on this. How do I get leads? I can't do the objectives. Are they wrong? I'll be like, let me see, and we'll do this together. We've also got the community in there. If you're not quite ready to join the academy, you can just get my amazing new scorecard assessment tool. I have just built this, perfected it, and launched it. So head to any of my links in TikTok, Instagram, not really on Instagram, LinkedIn, or b2bj.com. The scorecard is going to ask you 17 yes or no questions. You are literally just going to answer them. And I'm going to tell you as a percentage how strategic you are as a marketer. It's going to blow your mind. And I'm also going to send you some amazing freebies off the back of that to help you get more strategic. I need to take a breath. Just to let you know, I'll be back soon to tell you everything about where I've been. It's been a bit of a long gap since my last episode, but I'm back. I'm in the room. I'm so excited to hear from you. Enjoy this episode. And once again, sorry for the audio quality. Hi, everyone. My name is Jade Tambini. 20 years ago, when I was 17, I dropped out of art college. And as I watched my art portfolio drive away in the bus I just got off, I thought to myself, why am I not upset about this? So, like you do in 2005, I went to the local paper and I circled an ad that said, are you good at talking? come and speak to us. And I joined a telesales job, and I did 100 cold calls a day. What I quickly learned while I was in this sales job is that the best way to sell to people is just to really talk to them about what's going on for them, what they're struggling with, what they've tried, and then figure out how you can help them. So something ignited me inside as a result of this experience. I later ended up in corporate marketing, working my way up to head of marketing role in a division of FTSE PLC, DS Smith. And after that, I spent a little bit of time up to marketing director level in more regional businesses. After a little while there, a decade ago from now, in 2016, I set up my own company to consult CEOs. What I found was that they liked to blame you guys for the lack of results, and it did not sit right with me. So I thought, what can I do about this? Let me get to talk to marketers. Let's have some conversations and find out what it is that's going on. So I built after talking to marketers for a really long time, having lots of conversations with hundreds of you, I found out that what you were struggling with was the inability to demonstrate results, to get CEOs on board, to get the budget you needed, feeling like an imposter, feeling like, okay, this is actually just me. I'm getting this wrong. So in the end, I built B2B Breakthrough Academy, which is my marketing strategy course made simple. Marketers were telling me that they had degrees, they'd done every course out there, but they were still feeling stuck. So I decided to build something that was directly correlated with what marketers were telling me every day. So today, we're going to talk about why people are not getting results in B2B marketing and why I know it to be what I call the B2B marketing gap, which is the name of my podcast if you want to follow along. So I thought to myself, how can I figure out what's going on here? Let's start with what I know. Let's have conversations with people. So I started talking to people like you. Brianna on TikTok says to me, I'm drowning in work. Every day is a new struggle. I feel completely thrown to the wolves. I'm working 3 jobs in one. This guy says they constantly address symptoms and not causes. Perpetual shiny object syndrome, no vision, obsessed with doing and not building or scaling with value. I'd posted a video about being stuck on the marketing task wheel, and Alessandro says that's literally my day-to-day. I've worked on campaigns without being given clear goals, constant change in priorities, no clear direction of where the company is going. Being a marketing specialist torn between higher management and daily tasks is draining. This is a problem for all of us. So why aren't we getting results? I'm going to tell you another story. Part 1. The CEO says to you, we really value marketing. You guys are awesome. You are the growth engine of this business. Great, you're feeling excited. Part 2. Could you drop this text into a PowerPoint for tomorrow's meeting? Could you create this new corporate brochure? I've agreed to a partnership next week. Can you get the artwork? They need it by Wednesday. For the new products, can you build 6 landing pages by next week? Could you do a quick social media post about the acquisition? Could you put together event materials for next week? And on and on and on it goes. This might be how you feel at work. And the reason for that is the marketing task wheel. See, we make these lists, imagining that once we get through the list, we'll be complete and we can start with strategy. But the list just gets bigger. In fact, the faster you tick things off your list, your company feels that you can handle it all, and they just give you more. So in a way, the marketing task wheel is creating its own issue. The harder, the more resourceful you work, the worse the issue becomes. So why can't we just say no? A lot of people say to me, you can't say no, you'll get fired. They'll just pick someone who'll say yes. The problem is marketing is not senior enough, and so we actually are outranked by the people who are asking us to do things.
very often when I would say no to salespeople, they just copy in the commercial director, outranked, had to do it. What can we do? So part 3 of the story. You've been doing all the tasks. You've been trying to focus on strategy, but you haven't had time. And the CEO says to you, can you demonstrate the value marketing has brought in the last quarter, please? Deer in headlights. Oh my gosh, imposter syndrome. Oh my gosh, it's my fault. Internalizing all the issues of the business that absolutely do not belong to you. Where are the leads? I want leads. This is obviously the sales director. My favorite, you can just do that. You don't need budget when you ask to outsource things to free up more time to do what they've asked you to do. And the best one, I'll give you more budget when you can demonstrate ROI in what you've already got. Said in that exact tone, looking exactly like this. Part 4, we're sending out campaigns. We're updating presentations. We're doing everything on the task wheel. You're doing everything you're asked. And then you're told you need to think bigger picture. It is literally impossible to win in this situation. So why is this happening? The B2B marketing gap. The marketing gap is the huge void between leaders and where marketing sits that should be filled with a marketing strategy that works. And when I say works, I mean that you feel confident that you can deliver with the resources available to you, and that leadership understands and gets behind. And so when you say, we can't do those things because the strategy, they go, gotcha. So why does the marketing gap exist? Talking about a whole lot of history. And I'm doing the girls aloud version there. So sales was always person to person. When B2B marketers came about, we were more sales support admin. We were booking the events. We were doing all the ads, trade magazine partnerships, public relations. So we supported the selling process because people were buying from people, just as they are now, but to a lesser degree, to a bigger degree. But people buy very differently today. As we all know, none of us just wait for cold calls from a company trying to sell us something. We research online, we ask around, we do things really differently. And as a result of that, marketing does lead growth and drive growth, but it's not set up to do that, unfortunately. So marketing is supposed to lead growth, but isn't resourced to do that, but is expected to, which is crazy. It's like someone saying to you, I'd like you to bake me a cake. Great, can I have some flour and eggs and sugar and butter? No. Where's my cake? It doesn't make any sense. So how do we close the gap? What can we do? 3 things. The first one is we have to stop being yes people. I'm not saying you are, but I was a doormat for many years in marketing. I thought that doing well in the role was to keep on top of the demands and to serve the business. We need more FD energy, finance director energy, which is, that won't work, we're not doing it, with a bit of an education piece along the way. And there are many ways that we can do this. The second thing we need to do is educate internally, which will help people in the company understand the first point I made. So we need to go to our bosses and slowly but surely educate them that if we always do what we've always done, we will always get what we've always got. So you're telling me to do it this way. Let me ask you, have we ever gotten results this way? If the answer is no, we have to change. And the third thing is that we need to learn the ability to build a simple marketing strategy, one that we're excited to deliver, that is not a shopping list of tactics that's there to prove our worth to leaders, that includes a marketing review that has vanity metrics to make us look better. I say this because I've done it. My marketing reviews would be, quick, what can we show that's actually good so that it shows like we're doing good things? The marketing reviews need to be, Let me show you why this isn't working. What we're doing isn't working. Here's all the bad things. So what do? Part 1. So I'm going to take you through a 6-part process to get you started on how I would approach this, because there is so much out there that's confusing us. And if you look here, there is so many things we can choose, but we can get blindsided by the variety of options. So part 1, we need to have an honest marketing review. And if anyone would like to drop me a message, I will send you my marketing review template from my strategy program. No obligation to join. You can have it, start working on it. This is the piece that is going to get you close to your leaders so they start to trust you, that if marketing changes, it's going to get better. So we are not doing a marketing review to try and impress people. We're not searching for impressive statistics. We're being open and honest about the state of marketing. We're going to eat the frog. We're going to face reality. We're going to have open conversations with our leaders and say, look, this is not working. Neither of us are happy about this. Here's what we're going to do. Let's have a look at the real things that are going on here. The challenges, the CRM system, the data is not sorted out. We don't understand our customers. We're not talking to our customers. All of that stuff. Part 2 is we're going to set some solid marketing objectives. So if anyone was at Rory Sutherland's talk yesterday, I fell in love with what he said about the second that you focus on something as a target, the further away it will remove from your grasp, because you'll become obsessed with the wrong thing. I'm free because I work for myself. So my goal is help as many marketers as possible. And I know that leads to them buying my course. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not dumb. I am a sales girl. Everything I do to help marketers is in the direction of leading them to want to buy my program because I believe in it. But because it was built from them asking me to build it, it's a perfect circle. So if you make your objective, get 50 leads, I mean, obviously we want leads. That's not an objective. But if we make the objective, better understand what our customers want from us and help the business get set up to deliver that, and of course have key results under that that are measurable to satisfy people in the business, you're going to create a culture of putting the customer central to your business and focusing on the right things. And I'll share a couple of examples at the end of how this translates into strategies and tactics if you're feeling a bit skeptical, because everyone tells me, that's really woolly. Well, I'm sorry, but marketing is about satisfying customer needs while making a profit. That's what it's about. It's not about getting leads. Realistic marketing budget. So we do a lot of work inside the program, but I recommend however you do it to do this. Less is less, okay? Less is less. You have less budget, you do less. Simple as that. So I would have a clean slate with your leaders to say, with the budget that we have, which by the way equates to 0.8% of our sales revenue, here's what we can expect to do. In our industry, a benchmark, let's make it up, because I don't know your industry, but let's say the typical company in our industry spends 6% of sales revenue on marketing. So that budget would look like this. Yes, I get it, you're freaking out, that's really high. How about we do a few things and start to move upwards? You're never going to get anything with where we're at, only sales support. Do you want sales support or would you like growth? A little bit more FD energy. So we look at, when we're setting a budget, we look at 3 factors. Minimum 4% of sales revenue, generally, if your company is profitable and healthy. So you need to check with your FD, are we healthy? Up to around 8% of sales revenue. And we look at 3 factors when we decide what that is. How ambitious are our growth goals? So the classic one, we're going to double our revenue in 5 years. That's the classic one. Or we want organic growth. We naturally grow by 11% each year through our traditional selling methods. We'd like that to be 15% with a bit of support from marketing. Figure out how ambitious your growth goals are. Doubling is huge. Aggressiveness of your competition. Are you in quite an old school industry where it's still chatting, face-to-face coffees, or are you in quite an aggressive marketplace? And also, what's the scale of the brand challenge? How well are you known by your audience? Are you brand new? Have you been told, right, we need to win customers in Dubai now, but no one knows us? What's the scale of the brand challenge? So we do a little formula in my template to work out out of 10, and then we decide what your percentage marketing spend should be. It's a really great one. Next, we need to pick our marketing strategies. So you need to really focus on, okay, we've got our objectives and the budgets and resources. what is the simplest route from where we are now to where we need to get to? We're not doing shopping lists anymore. We're not panicking, thinking there's not enough here to impress the CEO. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do two things really well this year. Seriously well. We're going to smash it. With my business, I just decided I'm going all in on TikTok. I have a simple funnel. On the TikTok, I always tell them, if you like this, check out the podcast. On the podcast, I tell them, if you like this, get my 6-step freebie. And then the freebie has a lovely email sequence. Here's how to use the freebie. Do you like the freebie? Don't forget to use the freebie. Here's the freebie again. Here's some tips on how to use the freebie. Here's another freebie. Oh, by the way, here's my program. Here's what other people have said about it. Here's a free taster of that. Join us now. Here's a promo. So don't let that put you off my freebie at the end, because it's not an annoying sequence. It's nicely paced. And that's my strategy. And then there's a lot of customer loyalty. There's a lot of spending time with my students to make sure they're happy. I actually got told by my product director, don't employ her, but she acts as my product director, you're spending too much time obsessing over if your customers are happy. And I was like, but I don't want that to change. If they don't like something, then I need to change it. And so I started calling my students to be like, I haven't heard from you. How's everything going? You know, anything wrong with it? And they're like, no, it's great. I've completed it. I'm happy. Got buy-in. And I was like, there's nothing wrong. And then I realized I built it based on what they wanted. I built it with them. So that was a natural output. But actually, the fewest activities possible in selecting your strategies to achieve your objective is going to serve you really well, because you can give them what they need. We're not taking inspiration from other companies. Oh, they advertised on the roundabout outside my dentist. We're not doing that anymore. We're not taking on all suggestions from sales. When sales bring you an idea, you say, I love that idea. That's great. Can you tell me what problem you're looking to solve behind that? What made you think of that idea? Get the conversation out of the idea and then say, I love this. Because salespeople like that. I love this. Let me take that away and let me have a think about how I can integrate what you want to achieve into our strategy. Because I think I might be already doing some things that could really support that. When you start saying to sales, no, we've got too much on, they get really arsey. Choosing the right tactics, so really focus on, okay, we've got those 2-3 strategies. What are the fewest tactics we can do to achieve these? We're not panicking last minute and stuffing loads of activities into the plan that we absolutely know we can't deliver on. The CEO's nodding, they're really excited. Oh, that one's great, that one's great, that one's great. But you know in your heart you cannot deliver this. You're going to have a simple Gantt chart with the timings, with who's doing what. You've got your new budget. Everything is just perfectly lined up. Simple, simple, simple. You believe in this strategy. You're excited, you're bold enough to present less. Your leaders are going to be like, I've never seen anything like this. Part 6, the bit I hate, measurement. I don't do any measurement in my business. I know you could ask me like where people are in the sales journey, why they're not buying, I'll know it, I promise. If I ever was owned by someone, I'd give them those stats. I look at some top level things, but I am intuitive with how I run my company. I know that if I talk in a certain way on TikTok, it will go viral, and then as a result, I'll get a few sales or at least many leads. I get about 30 to 40 leads a day from my organic content, and I know instinctively when things are not working because I speak to people. I'm like, hey, you didn't buy, why? Really get to know people. But in a company like yours, you need to measure. So let's not measure everything just because. Let's not measure things that don't tell the whole story or measure the wrong things. Let's just pick a few scorecard metrics that directly link back to the key results in your objectives and really just focus on those. The things that your leaders will care about. And you have to get leadership buy-in. But by the way, if you do complete the marketing review, you'll already have it. Because you'll be asking them questions. I've had members of my community say, hey, Jade, I've done the review. The CEO has passed on that she is so happy that I've taken on this because I've been asking questions that challenge them to think differently about marketing. So we're not using marketing jargon. It stops. I don't ever use any marketing jargon. I think it is the worst thing that's ever happened to marketing is all of these fancy words. We just need to stop. We need to get back to talking to people, understanding what people want and dealing with their issues and helping them solve their problems. Stop the jargon. And we can see our leaders in the same way as that. We can see that they're just a person who doesn't get this. We need to be more finance director, like I said earlier. Think of yourself like a finance director would. They are in the room, they're confident. We're not going to do that. That's not going to work. Become an internal consultant. Don't internalize it if they don't want to do what you want to do. Ask them, if you would like me to be the sales support function with the current resources we have, that's fine. Maybe it's not fine. Maybe you want to get another job, but it is an option. As long as they know, if you have this budget and this resource, this is what you get. Don't be asking me for growth. You won't be getting it. Okay, really quickly, a short-sighted example of that whole process is business challenge. We're losing customers to cheaper competitors. The objective would be achieve 84% retention rate by the end of financial year. Strategies: use price promotions to incentivize repeat business, increase customer engagement activities close to renewal time, and the tactics: email campaign to promote the promotion with follow-up calls from sales, build an education-based, this is the bad one, by the way, build an education-based nurture program for 3 months in the lead-up to decision-making, and measurement, email open rates, number of meetings. For many standards, that's better than what a lot of companies have got as a marketing approach. But I want to tell you to look at this. Same challenge. Marketing objective is better understand what our customers want and their purchasing drivers to help the business adapt to overcome this. Is a long-sighted view of it. Key result: yes, we still want to get the retention rate up there, but that's not what the objective is focused on. See how the strategies are different? We're not just doing price promos and empty campaigns and calls. Customer insight program, positioning overhaul to tackle the price sensitivity issue that came up out of that. Attract the right clients, customer education program, tactics. Build a customer success video training library and rewrite our customer email nurture flows. New brand messaging, website copy, sales suite. Launch net promoter score program. Run Google and LinkedIn ads to target new persona. Measure customer satisfaction levels. It's so much deeper, and you actually solve the issue at hand. So the cure is to build this simple marketing strategy, and that's what B2B Breakthrough Academy does. You can join us if you like. I actually have a group starting next week, and there's a couple of spots left. You can get my 6-step strategy training to get yourself started. It's going to walk you through those steps, but there's a full video training for you. I'll be honest with you, I need to monetize this because a lot of people are messaging saying, hey, great news, I built my strategy, and it's all down to your freebie. And I'm like, oh, this was meant to help you buy the course. But at the end of the day, if it helps you, that's my mission. The more people I help, the more people you pass it on to. So thank you for coming to my talk. And if there are any questions at all, I would love to answer them. Thank you. Please ask a question. Otherwise, I finished 2 minutes early for no reason. Thank you.
I just caught the end of this. Liz Mosscrop with Gear Up TV. Thank you. That was so insightful.
Thank you.
How do you work within your community? Because I loved hearing that, I'm totally with you on wanting to please your clients. What kind of work do you do within that on a daily basis to keep them engaged?
Yeah, so we have a community on Circle, and people join the program. They get their mentoring calls with me, and they get all of the on-demand lessons and templates. But in the community is a place to just be like, hey, I've drafted this objective, and it doesn't really feel right. What do you think? And then I'll answer their question. I also share replays of the live calls, and I'll do things like resources drops. I'll be like, oh, I just read this book about behavioral economics. You should definitely do it. So I'll be honest with you, it's tough to get people to engage in communities. It's tough. People are busy. They've got a lot on. So you have to be quite inventive. But I think as long as you see that anyone engaging in a community is so positive, and it's private and exclusive, so everyone knows that if they do post something, they're going to get all of me. I hope that answers the question. Hi. Oh, there's another one there. Oh, this lady. Over here.
I just wanted to ask if your course touches on managing people within the marketing team and how to build a good team and resource planning, and whether the answer is yes or no, if you could give us your best advice on managing people in a marketing team.
Yes, the program does include that, as well as managing out and up with leaders and salespeople. So there's a whole mindset motivation micro course within the program. But yeah, the advice I would give is just to shelter them from all the crap above you and have your own little healthy bubble where you don't overwork them and you have their back above you. So you help them by guiding them on, this is our strategy, these are our objectives, this is what your role within that is, and I want you to feel empowered to deliver on your part of that. And just make sure that they feel, like, run it as your own little business and get to know them as people, find out what they like, how they work, and just be human with them, I think, is what I would say, and shelter them as best you can. Ooh, that was a signal to me to stop talking. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming, and enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you.